I never thought I'd see Jake Harlan again after college. But there he was, standing in the crowded coffee shop in downtown Seattle, looking nothing like the arrogant jock who tormented me in Psych 101. Back then, he was the king of the lecture hall, cracking jokes at my expense that made the whole class laugh, while I shrank in my seat, wondering why he singled me out. It started innocently enough. A snide comment about my sensitive answers during discussions on human behavior, but it escalated into something that left scars I didn't even realize were there until years later. My name is Ethan Caldwell, and I grew up in a small town in Oregon where being different meant keeping your head down. I moved to the University of Washington for a fresh start, majoring in psychology because I wanted to understand people, maybe even myself. I was quiet, introspective, the kind of guy who preferred books over parties. Jake, on the other hand, was everything I wasn't. Tall, athletic, with a charisma that drew people in like moths to a flame. He was on the football team, always surrounded by admirers, and in our shared class, he made it his mission to poke fun at me. It began in the second week. Professor Ellis was lecturing on Freudian theories, and I raised my hand to suggest that repression could explain a lot of societal prejudices. Jake snorted from the back row. Yeah, like how some people repress their urge to dress like it's still the 90s, he said, nodding at my flannel shirt. The class erupted in laughter, and my face burned. I tried to brush it off, but it happened again and again. He'd mimic my voice when I answered questions, call me Emo Ethan in group discussions, and once, he even accidentally spilled coffee on my notes during a study session I was forced into with him for a project. I hated him for it, but beneath the hate was confusion. Why me? I wasn't openly gay back then. I was still figuring it out myself. Maybe he sensed it like a shark smelling blood. Or maybe it was just bad luck. Either way, by midterm, I dreaded that class. I'd arrive early to snag a seat far from him, but he'd always find a way to interact. Our project on cognitive dissonance was a nightmare. We met in the library, and he showed up late, reeking of gym sweat. Let's get this over with, princess, he'd say, and I'd grit my teeth, doing most of the work while he flirted with passing sorority girls. One evening, things got personal. We were arguing about the paper's thesis, me insisting on evidence-based arguments, him wanting to wing it. You think you're so smart, don't you, Caldwell? Always analyzing everything like it's a therapy session. Maybe you need therapy for being such a weirdo. His words stung, but I fired back for the first time. And you need it for being a bully. What's your deal, Jake? Insecure much? He froze, his face hardening, and for a split second, I saw something vulnerable in his eyes before he laughed it off. Whatever, man. Just finish the damn paper. We got an A, but I avoided him for the rest of the semester. Rumors swirled about Jake parties, hookups, the typical college alpha male stuff. I focused on my studies, made a few friends in the LGBTQ+ club, and slowly came to terms with my identity. By senior year, Psych 101 was a distant memory, and graduation loomed like a promise of freedom. On commencement day, I walked across the stage, diploma in hand, glancing at the sea of faces. Jake was there, cheering with his buddies, but our eyes met briefly. He smirked, and I looked away, vowing never to think of him again. Life after college hit hard. I moved to Seattle for a job as a counselor at a youth center, helping kids navigate mental health issues. It was fulfilling but lonely. Dating was sporadic. I was cautious, scarred from past rejections. My family back home was supportive but distant. My coming out had been met with awkward hugs and "we love you anyway" speeches. Society was progressing, but prejudices lingered, especially in professional circles where being gay could still raise eyebrows. 2 years post-grad, I was grabbing my morning latte at a bustling cafe near my office when I heard a familiar voice. Ethan? Ethan Caldwell. I turned, and there was Jake, older but still striking, with a tentative smile instead of his usual cocky grin. He looked different, softer around the edges, like life had sanded down his sharpness. Hey man, long time no see. I froze, coffee cup midway to my lips. Jake. Yeah, wow. My mind raced. Should I be polite? Walk away? The old anger bubbled up, but curiosity won. We exchanged awkward pleasantries. He was working in marketing for a tech firm, living in the city. Small world, he said, rubbing his neck. Listen, I owe you an apology. For college. I was a jerk. His words hung in the air, unexpected and raw. I nodded slowly, not sure how to respond. Yeah, you were. We talked for a few minutes, the conversation stilted but civil. As I left, he called out, maybe we could grab drinks sometime? Catch up properly. I hesitated, then gave him my number. Why? Maybe closure. Or maybe something else I couldn't name yet. That night, I replayed the encounter. Jake Harlan, the bully, apologizing? It felt like a plot twist in one of those psych theories we studied. Cognitive dissonance, indeed. Little did I know, this was just the beginning of a story that would challenge everything I thought I knew about forgiveness, identity, and love. The first drink turned into a weekly ritual. Jake texted me the next day, suggesting a bar near Pike Place Market. I almost canceled, but something pulled me there, maybe the need to understand why he'd targeted me. We met at a cozy pub with exposed brick walls and craft beers on tap. He was already there, nursing a pint, looking nervous. Thanks for coming, he said as I sat down. I wasn't sure you would. We started with small talk. Jobs, hobbies, the grind of adult life. He shared how marketing suited his outgoing nature, but the corporate world felt soulless. I talked about my work with at-risk youth, how rewarding it was to see kids overcome their struggles. Gradually, the conversation shifted to college. I was going through some stuff back then, he admitted, staring at his glass. Family pressure, expectations to be the perfect son. Football scholarship, straight-A facade. I took it out on you because, well, you seemed so sure of yourself. I laughed bitterly. Sure? I was terrified. You made it worse. He winced. I know. I'm sorry. It wasn't about you, it was me projecting. We delved deeper, and he confessed his parents were conservative, pushing him toward a life script. Marry a nice girl, have kids, climb the ladder. I rebelled in dumb ways, like bullying the quiet kid who challenged my worldview. As weeks passed, our meetings evolved. We hiked in the Olympics, explored Seattle's food scene, even attended a Mariners game. Jake opened up more. His love for photography, hidden from his jock image. His strained relationship with his dad, a former military man who equated masculinity with toughness. I shared my own battles, coming out to friends who drifted away, the subtle discrimination at work when colleagues assumed I was just a friend to my dates. One rainy evening, over pizza in my apartment, the air shifted. We'd been laughing about a disastrous group project from another class when Jake grew serious. Ethan, there's something I need to tell you. My heart raced. Was this a confession? I'm gay, he said quietly. Or bi, I think. I've been figuring it out. In college, I was scared. Seeing you so introspective, it mirrored what I was repressing. So I lashed out. The revelation hit like a wave. All those taunts, the mimicry, it was his own fear reflected back. I felt a mix of anger and empathy. You could have just talked to me, I said. Instead, you made me miserable. He nodded, eyes downcast. I regret it every day. Meeting you again is like a second chance. From there, our bond deepened. We navigated the awkward dance of friendship turning romantic. Our first kiss happened on a ferry to Bainbridge Island, the Puget Sound glittering under the sunset. It was tentative, charged with years of unresolved tension. But society wasn't as kind. Jake's work had a bro-culture vibe. Whispers started when he mentioned me. My youth center dealt with homophobic parents who questioned my ability to counsel their kids. Conflicts arose. Jake's family invited him home for Thanksgiving, expecting him to bring a girlfriend. He agonized over coming out. What if they disown me? He asked one night, head in my lap. I urged honesty, but he hesitated, leading to our first fight. You're still hiding, just like in college, I accused. Am I your secret? He stormed out, but returned hours later, apologetic. You're right. I need to face this. We attended Pride events together, a stark contrast to our past. But external pressures mounted. A colleague of mine, conservative, made snide remarks about lifestyle choices affecting professional judgment. Jake faced similar at work. A promotion delayed after a coworker outed him subtly in a meeting. These societal clashes tested us, forcing choices. Stand firm or retreat. Through it all, emotions swirled. Love mixed with resentment, joy shadowed by fear. Jake's transformation was genuine, but scars lingered. Could I fully forgive? Was his past excusable? As our relationship grew, so did the drama, pulling us toward a reckoning neither anticipated. 6 months in, our relationship hit its stride and its first major hurdle. Jake decided to come out to his family during Christmas in Colorado. I offered to go, but he insisted on doing it alone. "This is my mess," he said. The week apart was torturous. I paced my apartment, imagining worst-case scenarios. When he returned, his face told the story before words did. "It was bad," he admitted, collapsing on the couch. His dad had exploded, calling it a phase, blaming liberal college influences. His mom cried, asking where she'd gone wrong. Jake was shattered, but it ignited a fire in him. He dove into therapy, joining a support group for LGBTQ+ adults from conservative backgrounds. I admired his growth, but it highlighted my own unresolved issues. Flashbacks to college taunts resurfaced during arguments. Once, over a minor disagreement about plans, I snapped, "You're just like before, pushing people around." He recoiled, hurt. "I'm trying, Ethan. Can't you see that?" We sought couples counseling, a safe space to unpack our history. The therapist, a wise woman named Dr. Ramirez, pointed out patterns. My trust issues from bullying, his from repression. Sessions were intense, tears flowing as we dissected choices. "Forgiveness isn't forgetting," she said. "It's choosing to build anew." Slowly, we rebuilt, focusing on communication. Social conflicts escalated. At a work event for my center, a donor pulled funding after learning about my personal life, citing moral concerns. It sparked debate in the community. Articles in local papers questioned if gay counselors could be objective with teens. I fought back, organizing panels on inclusivity, but it drained me. Jake supported, attending rallies, but his own job teetered. A client meeting went south when a homophobic exec made jokes. Jake called him out, risking his position. Amid the turmoil, tender moments shone. We adopted a rescue dog, Max, who became our glue. Walks in Discovery Park turned into deep talks about dreams. Me wanting to start a nonprofit for queer youth. Jake eyeing a career shift to nonprofit marketing. Our love was real, passionate without crossing into explicit territory. Stolen glances, handholds in public, defying stares. But controversy brewed when Jake's past caught up. An old college friend, now in Seattle, recognized us at a bar. "Wait, you're dating the guy you used to bully?" He laughed, loud enough for others to hear. Word spread on social media. Anonymous posts accusing Jake of faking his orientation for redemption. It went viral in local gay circles, debates raging. Can a former bully truly change? Is forgiveness betrayal to victims? I defended him online, but doubts crept in. Friends questioned my choice. "He's the reason you struggled in college. How can you trust him?" Family weighed in, my sister supportive but my dad wary, echoing societal norms. Jake faced backlash at group meetings. Some members shunned him, calling his story convenient. The climax built at a pride parade. We marched together, but protesters hurled slurs. One targeting Jake specifically after recognizing him from posts. "Hypocrite," they yelled. He froze, but I grabbed his hand. "We're in this," I whispered. That night we talked till dawn. "Do you regret us?" he asked. "No," I said, "but we have to face the world head-on. Our choices defined us." Jake quit his job, starting freelance work aligned with his values. I pushed for policy changes at the center. But the disputes sparked broader conversations, articles, podcasts debating redemption in the LGBTQ+ community. Was Jake's journey inspirational or problematic? The tension mounted, leading to a decision that would test our bond forever. The storm hit full force when Jake's family disowned him officially via a scathing letter. "We can't support your choices," it read, cutting off financial ties and emotional bonds. Devastated, he spiraled into doubt. "Maybe they're right," he muttered one night, staring at the ceiling. "Maybe I'm just fooling myself." I held him, reassuring, but inside, anger boiled. At his parents, at society for perpetuating such pain. This fueled our activism. We volunteered at shelters, spoke at events about bullying's long-term effects on queer youth. But fame came unwanted. A viral TikTok of our story, shared by an attendee, amassed millions of views. Comments flooded. Supportive hearts mixed with vitriol. "He's using you for clout. Forgive bullies? That's enabling." It divided friends. Some distanced, others rallied. Professionally, repercussions mounted. My center faced audits from conservative board members, questioning programs on gender identity. I testified at hearings arguing for inclusivity but lost allies. Jake's freelance gigs dried up after clients Googled him, wary of controversy. We scraped by, leaning on each other, but resentment simmered. "If I'd never apologized, you'd be fine," he said bitterly during a fight. "No," I countered. "I'd be alone, unfinished." A turning point came at a national conference on mental health in D.C. I was invited to speak on forgiveness in therapy. Jake joined, and during Q&A, an audience member challenged, "How can you love your abuser?" The room tensed. I paused, then shared our story honestly, the pain, growth, love. "It's not easy," I said, "but choice defines us." Applause mixed with murmurs, sparking heated debates post-session. Back home, societal pressures peaked. Jake's ex-teammate from college, now a local influencer, posted a tell-all accusing Jake of past homophobia to hide his sexuality. It ignited cancel culture flames. Petitions circulated to bar him from community events. We lawyered up, but the emotional toll was immense. Nights blurred into therapy sessions, walks with Max our only respite. In a moment of vulnerability, Jake proposed we move to Portland, a fresh start. "Away from the noise," he pleaded. I hesitated, "My work, friends here." "Running again?" I asked. He shook his head. "No, choosing peace." The decision loomed, testing our commitment. Friends advised against. "He's dragging you down." But I saw his evolution, from bully to advocate, flawed but earnest. High drama unfolded at a family reunion I hosted. My relatives met Jake, tensions high. My uncle, old school, grilled him. "You hurt my nephew. Why should we accept you?" Jake owned it. "I can't erase the past, but I'm building a better future." It swayed some, but not all. Later, alone, I questioned. Was love enough amid endless conflict? As controversies swirled, we chose to stand firm. Jake started a blog on redemption, gaining followers who shared similar stories. I expanded my counseling to online sessions, reaching more. But the ultimate test came when a documentary crew approached, wanting our narrative. "It could help others," Jake said. "Or destroy us," I replied. We debated fiercely, expose vulnerabilities or stay private. In the end, we agreed, filming raw interviews. Airing brought acclaim and backlash. Praise for authenticity, criticism for romanticizing bullying. Protests at screenings highlighted divides. Some saw hope, others harm. Through it, our bond strengthened, but scars deepened. Choices piled up. Continue fighting or retreat. The high stakes left us breathless, hurtling toward resolution. The documentary's release marked our turning point. Reviews poured in. Some hailed it as a beacon for change. Others decried it as naive. Jake and I watched from our couch, Max between us, as talking heads debated our story on cable news. Is redemption possible for former bullies in the LGBTQ+ community? One pundit asked. We turned it off, exhausted but united. In the aftermath, opportunities arose. I launched my nonprofit, Second Chances Counseling, focusing on queer youth and reconciliation. Jake joined as communications director, his marketing skills shining. Funding came from unexpected allies, viewers moved by our tale. But challenges persisted. Online trolls, strained friendships. Jake's family reached out tentatively. His mom called, tearful, hinting at reconciliation. His dad remained silent. Our daily life normalized. Morning coffees, evening strolls, quiet affirmations of love. Yet, societal echoes lingered. At a workshop, a teen shared being bullied by a closeted peer, mirroring our past. "How do you forgive?" he asked. I glanced at Jake. "With time, understanding, and choice," I replied. It reinforced our path, flawed, but forward. Years blended. We married in a small ceremony on Whidbey Island, surrounded by supporters. Vows exchanged amid ocean breezes promised enduring through storms. Honeymoon in Hawaii brought reflection. On college pains transformed to present joys. But questions remained. Had society evolved? Or were we anomalies? Back in Seattle, we mentored couples facing similar struggles. One pair eerily like us, a former tormentor and victim, sought advice. "It works if you both commit," Jake said. Their success inspired, but not all stories ended happily. Some relationships crumbled under pressure, highlighting harsh realities. As we aged, priorities shifted. Adopting a child became our dream, navigating adoption biases against gay couples. Agencies scrutinized our past. Jake's history raised flags. We fought legally, winning after grueling hearings. Our son, Liam, arrived, a bundle of energy healing old wounds. Life's drama softened, but never vanished. Jake's blog evolved into a book, From Shadows to Light, sparking global discussions. Royalties funded scholarships for bullied queer students. I published papers on therapeutic forgiveness influencing curricula, including at our alma mater. In quiet moments, doubts surfaced. Was it worth the pain? I'd ask. Jake would smile. Every bit, because it led to us. Our love, forged in fire, stood resilient amid societal shifts. Progressive laws clashing with persistent prejudices. Reflecting on our journey, from Psych 101 enmity to lifelong partnership, one question lingers. Is it truly possible for a former bully to redeem themselves fully in the eyes of their victim, or does the past forever taint the future?